Hello and welcome back to another edition of Standouts and Fizzouts, where we talk about how each NFL team played during their most recent game. It's kind of like our own version of winners and losers, risers and fallers, whatever you want. But it's Standouts and Fizzouts. Standouts, why? Because obviously standouts, players that stood out, and Fizzouts because pop. Pop is the greatest thing since sliced bread, and we have made that abundantly clear at this point. Hopefully some of you will agree with us. Let us know what kind of pop you guys drink. Coke, Pepsi, doesn't matter. We drink it all. So once again, welcome back to Standouts and Fizzouts, where we cover last night's game versus the Atlanta Falcons versus the New York Jets. And I got to be honest with you, I felt like this game was one of those games where both teams have quarterbacks or questions at quarterback that I think were solved to some degree last night. Now, they weren't completely solved, but there's a lot of good things to go off of. And I think moving forward for both, there's some excitement for both teams in that department, certainly. So we're going to bring you in here to the game manager here, just kind of go over what happened. So obviously, yes, the Falcon. The big thing going on in Twitter right now is, the Falcons blew the lead. It's preseason. Nobody cares. Stop it. So the Jets so far through the preseason are undefeated at 2-0. The Falcons are 1-1. So, it started out very interesting. You saw the Falcons offense really get some things going. Kyle Pitts caught that long ball. Drake London was out due to a knee injury. It was very minor from what was reported. They believe he will be back for week 1, so no worries there. So Desmond Ridder went 10 of 13 for 143 yards, no touchdowns, no picks. I really like what I saw from Desmond Ridder, specifically with his throws to Jared Bernhardt. They might have themselves someone special there. So, and also Anthony Firkser caught that one. Was it from Marcus Mariota, who, by the way, had himself a game as well. He went 6 of 10 for 132 yards, including a touchdown to Olamide Zaccheaus, I believe that's how you pronounce his name, who had that 13-yard touchdown catch. So honestly, it was a laser. It was placed in there perfectly by Mariota. Both quarterbacks, this is neck and neck. Both played very respectfully. At this point, I think what it does come down to is how far along do they think that Desmond Ridder is and Marcus Mariota. I mean, he's still a very good quarterback in this league. So then Felipe Franks went 2 of 6 for 8 yards. He did struggle a little bit, did have a couple of nice runs, but also at the same time did let that allow that strip sack for that play. That was kind of wild. I do think at the end of the day, Felipe Franks might find himself on the practice squad, which is no problem. There's a lot of things to like about his game as well. So then Caleb Huntley had 11 carries for 34 yards, right behind Felipe Franks, who had 5 carries for 45 yards. So Jared Bernhardt, I got to be, like I said, I think he's going to turn into something special. You saw 2 or 3 nice catches from Ridder in that, I think it was in the second half that you were like, okay, these two have a special relationship. Bernhardt could bring something else to this offense. Obviously, yes, you got Kyle Pitts. Yes, you got Drake London, but it never hurts to have another. And Olamide Zaccheaus is also another guy to watch out for. But overall, that was I thought it was a very strong showing from Bernhardt. So Anthony Firkser also had that really nice catch, that went for a ways. He was basically uncovered. Kyle Pitts, I got to tell you, he's the man. I feel like him and Drake London are going to do a lot of great things there in Atlanta. There's a lot of reasons to be excited about those tools as well. And like we covered, Nicole Pruitt also caught that nice screen pass. Great job by the blockers getting out in front of him and using his blockers to his advantage there. So then Kadarius Hodge had that nice catch as well. And like we covered, Olamide Zaccheaus caught that lone touchdown. So he's most likely, or at least going to be in the discussion for that number 3, which I thought was, it's fitting. I think he's going to do a lot of great things. Brian Edwards, the receiver they traded for from the Raiders, I felt like he's going to have a bigger role than a lot of people think as well. Defensively, Dean Marlowe led the way for the Falcons with 6 tackles. And then you saw, Tease Tabor had a couple tackles, also got lost on that, that touchdown pass to, I'm forgetting the tight end tight end turned wide receiver. Oh yeah, Lawrence Kager there. Overall, that was a lot to put on him because the the Falcons blitzed an extra defender on that play, and it left Tease Tabor on an island with, again, I got to remember his name because he actually played very well. Kager, that's right. Yeah, excuse me. So he left Tease Tabor on an island there, and it was kind of a tough thing. Even though he did have a pick earlier, even though I don't put that necessarily. I don't put that pick on Strevler. I love Strevler. I think he's the former USD product. You gotta love representing South Dakota. But overall, I don't put that pick on him. That was just a great play by Tease Tabor. I think he, honestly, he did put the ball where I felt like it needed to be. So, and then if we take a look here, Troy Anderson, the rookie coming up out of Montana, I believe, had a couple of nice tackles there as well. And then Antetokounmpo Ogundeji had himself a nice run fit tackle there as well. So there were some good things from the defense for the Falcons. I'm expecting a lot of good things for that unit moving forward. So, and I got to be honest with you, Young Ho Aku also had himself a night. Finished the game with 10 points, 3 of 3 on field goals. So, you know what? I think overall there's a lot of good things to take away from this. And overall, I think that you have to be excited about the quarterback situation going on in Atlanta. Then we go over to the Jets here. Mike White, Mike White excites you, but at the same time, there's plays you're just like, you're kind of left with your head scratching there. So I love Mike White. I think he's going to be a fantastic backup in this league. Maybe he could be a starter one day. I'm not 100% sure, but he finished the night 12 of 17 for 90 yards. Then Chris Streveler, I love me some Streveler. 8 of 11, 119 yards, a touchdown, and a pick. The biggest thing from Streveler I wanted to see was him just just uncork it, let him do his thing, and he certainly did that. Once again, threw for 119 yards, also had 33 yards on the ground. So, he mixes in that, the little bit of that pass and run ability. So, I do think he is an interesting quarterback. Like, he should be on a lot of NFL teams' radars in terms of being a backup there. So, he's got a lot of good traits, also like Michael Perrine there. Had that nice touchdown run to kind of get the Jets back in it. I believe they gave him the lead, if I'm not mistaken. But overall, that was kind of one of those things where Streveler had himself a very fine game, and I expect him to be at least make a push for a backup. I know Joe Flacco's in there as well, but overall, Chris Streveler played himself a game last night, absolutely. And like we touched on, the running game, it was kind of tough for the Jets. Their offensive line did have a tough time getting after it in terms of blocking, but I also give props there to the Falcons in that regard. So receiving, yes, Lawrence Kegler, like we covered, he had himself a couple of nice catches, including Streveler fighting through that arm tackle about to be a sack, and then Kegler did his thing. He finished the night with 3 catches, 65 yards, and a touchdown. Tariq Black, 4 catches, 47 yards. Denzel Mims, I have been high on Denzel Mims since the very beginning. I'm not ready to give up on him. I still think he's going to give a little something to this Jets offense. And then Garrett Wilson, 3 catches, 15 yards. Man, if he would have broken that one tackle, yeah, he would have been, was it on 3rd and 7? Yeah, that would have been nothing but green grass in front of him. Jonathan Marshall here. The former Razorback, 5 tackles, also had himself a sack, laid out that running back. Oh, geez, I don't remember who it was off the top of my head. I gotta look back at it, but it was, Quadre Allison there. Ooh, that was rough. That was one of those where Allison, we would have understood if he would have dropped that, but it is what it is at this point. It was honestly just a great play by Jonathan Marshall as well. So, and then I also the play of the game really to me was that Bradley Anai, a strip sack and return for a touchdown. That was a heck of a play. That was a fantastic play. I felt like he really separated himself in there. It might have, that does put himself on a lot of NFL team roster spots if he doesn't make the Jets, but that was really good to see. Breece Hall also had 4 tackles as well as Del'Shawn Phillips, who had finished with 6 tackles. So a lot of good things coming from this Jets defense. I saw him flying around doing a lot of good things as well. What was it? Zonovan Knight, who had that nice kickoff return as well for the Jets. So there's a lot of good things coming from the Jets here. I do think overall you got to be excited once again about this quarterback position because, again, I get it. Zach Wilson's probably going to be your starter. Joe Flacco's your number 2, but it makes you talk. It makes NFL teams look at who they want to keep and kind of protect in that roster spot if they do go that route or if they let him hit waivers, which I think Chris Streveler could find himself kind of an opportunity there. So, but let us know what you guys think. That's all we have for standouts and fizzouts from the Atlanta Falcons versus the New York Jets. Standouts and fizzouts. That's right, fizzouts because pop is amazing. Let us know who stood out and fizzed out for you. Make sure you guys like and subscribe down below. Leave a like and a comment. It helps people find the show, and we greatly appreciate all the support that you guys have given to us. We love every single one of you. Down in the description below, you'll find all of our social media platforms. Make sure you give us that like and that follow on all those. And also, if you have anything else you'd like us to cover, send us an email at thesportsbp@yahoo.com or put it in the comment section down below, and we would love to cover it. But let us know what you guys think about our latest edition of Standouts and Fizzouts for the Atlanta Falcons versus New York Jets preseason game.